Hello.
I can see.
All right. Okay, so I created an example from scratch that I want us to go over. And, yeah, I'm going to be breaking it down as much as I can, and then we'll go through it like over and over. I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to use this. Is my font legible enough, or I should change it? Check color scheme. Yes, color scheme. Color scheme. Mm, 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 mm. Um, I see. I think this is better. Okay, yeah. So, oh my God. So yeah, JDBC, we already went through the theory. Is how we communicate to the database via a a Java application. That is the importance of JDBC. It's just yeah, us communicating to the database using through our Java program. Yeah, so we need, like I said last week, we need the MySQL connector. We need the MySQL itself. I hope we downloaded that, hopefully. Yeah, and then we need the connector, like I said in the previous class. Well, once you want to get your connector, you don't need to download, or if you have IntelliJ, you just go to libraries and just add from Maven, and then like that you get your MySQL connector. If you are using any other, let's say you are using Oracle connector, let's see, you should be able to get that. Yep, this is it. The com database is Oracle, yada yada yada. Yeah, so that's it. And yeah, so let's try connecting to our database. This statement, this line is what gets us connected to our database connection, which is a class. Um, driver manager dot get connection, then the URL, like I said in the previous class. This is a typical URL for any database you're querying. This is the typical URL from any MySQL database you are querying. There are different databases. So um there are different database management systems. So this is for MySQL. This is the typical URL. You would notice that in our last class we had something here. Let's say test. Now that is the schema. That is the schema. So we are going to create a new schema or database. The whole thing is the database management system. That is MySQL is the database management system. And inside it, we have a database. Inside the database, we have tables. In the tables, we have columns, and the table comprises of columns and rows. In the rows and columns, we have values and you know whatnot, just like normal tables. So this is the typical URL, and we are going to be creating a database, not a table, a database. A database is somewhat like this in your MySQL. I'm trying to start my MySQL. Okay. A database is somewhat like this.
Have you told Mr. Imo about sharing my screen?
Yeah, I spoke to him. I don't know if
Okay,
I
let me
spoke
see.
to him
Can you stop screen share for 1 second? Let me see if I'm able to share.
already. Yeah. And I think Mr. is coming to talk, spoke to him, so I don't know. I don't know the issue that is the yeah. Fine. Let's see.
Okay, I think I can share.
Oh, fantastic.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Finally.
good. So we can go through all these things together then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's better.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let me see your MySQL first.
Okay. I'll stop sharing now so that you can. I'll
No,
stop
don't stop
sharing.
sharing. Don't stop sharing.
Oh, okay. I should go back to my IntelliJ.
Yes, I want to see your MySQL actually. Do you have a MySQL?
I don't have a
Oh yeah, download now. No. Let's see.
SQL connector
No. Just MySQL Workbench. Let me
workbench.
see if I can send the link to you. Someone is waiting. Got it. Don't worry about it. Type MySQL Workbench. Yeah, that's it. Download using it. And then go to the website. You went back.
And I have no idea why.
No, just go to the website. No, that the first one, the very first one. No, not that. Yeah. Yep. Download now. Mac OS. Yep. No, no thanks. Just start my download. While that is downloading, let me see your IntelliJ.
Okay. Are you sure this thing is downloading?
I think it's done now. I saw something like check your downloads.
Why is this thing acting weird?
Check your downloads. No, it's I don't think it's there. Okay.
It's supposed to be.
No, check in your Chrome. Okay,
Okay,
that's it.
start shift to applications. Okay, I'm in IntelliJ now.
Go and press that setup SDK. Let me see.
Yes, down.
Click on it. The project JDK is not. Yep, click on that Java 18 version. Yeah, yeah, you're good now. All right. Um, let's check on the progress of your MySQL. Oh my God, don't worry about it. Go to your IntelliJ. I thought it was going to be done by now.
Mr.
Now,
Fem, hello.
sir.
Sorry, I just joined and I'm a little behind. Would you take me through that after the class, or you want me to just
No, we
continue?
just
Just
started. We just started.
okay, okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, click on your MySQL. Oh, your IntelliJ. Let me see. No, your IntelliJ.
I'm in IntelliJ already.
Okay. Are you using? Because we want to start a new project. I want you to like. This
I don't even
is.
know how to use this IntelliJ. I just downloaded it because we
Yeah,
have
go to click
this.
project.
Uh,
Project. Yeah, that project. Yeah. Um. Wait. What is this? This is weird. Um. Click the sidebar project. The sidebar. Yeah. Okay. There should be somewhere file that you'll be able to create a new project. That's not it.
Should be options.
No, it can't even be there. Suppose there's supposed to be something like file, view, yada yada yada. Expand it first. Expand it. Let me see. Your green something. That green, yeah. Let's see what's going on. Is it in presentation mode? Because I can't see. I'm looking for something. Close it down. Okay. Open the open that thing back. Yeah. That's what file. Go to file.
Okay.
New. 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 New.
Renew.
On the top, the
Okay.
yeah, then project.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, click on new project. Yeah. Create click create. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, name it JDBC instead. JDBC. Capital letter. It makes sense like that. It's all caps. Yeah. Then click
Okay.
create. Create, yeah. New window. Okay, so we're good. That's your class. That's your new. So for your JDBC, you would need. Let's check on your MySQL progress. Let's see if it has. Let's see if
Okay.
it's done download. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why is this thing slow? Like,
Well,
sure.
I don't know.
And go to your IntelliJ. Don't worry about it. Let's get your connector. No, there are two There are two windows. This is the former one.
Mm. I should
You know
just
when
get.
you open like two. No, 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 no. Don't open anymore. It's
Yeah.
opened already. You know that when you open like two, maybe Chrome tabs or something like that,
Yeah.
cancel it. Yeah, there are two IntelliJs. Just minimize that one.
Okay.
Then click on your IntelliJ. Let's see if it will bring out the two.
Just highlight on it, then it's gonna bring two.
No,
Okay.
Mac. This is Mac, so I don't know
Mark,
the
Mark
user.
different. Is there a way you can see double IntelliJ on your MacBook?
No, just one.
Okay, let her open another one. Then
Oh, just go to that file too.
file, yeah.
Don't open that one. You open recent projects. Go to recent projects. The third one, yeah, JDBC. Just click on it. Somewhere it's tucked somewhere here, so no problem. So go to your close safari.app. Up your Mac cooldown. Okay. Remove. Is there a way you can remove that performance? Yeah.
Yeah, that
All right.
performance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, beside notifications, there are like, oh no, there's an arrow, a yellow kind of arrow. Can you see
Right.
it?
The one behind the black, the one, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Click on it. Go to project structure. Go to library. Click the plus sign from Maven. Now type MySQL. Click the search. It's going to search. The Google, yeah, that thing. Yeah. Go down, go down, go down, go down. Stop. Go up a little bit, little by little. 8.0.30. Yeah, that's the latest one. Yeah. Click it. Then click OK. Okay, click OK. Yeah, you're good. Click OK. Now go to the external libraries. I just want to show you something. But it's still downloaded, don't worry. Go to the external library and just drop down. Click the arrow thingy. You see, it has added MySQL connector. That's how to like check. That's check if that's been added. So all we need now is your MySQL. I'll minimize it. Let's see if it has. Let's see if it's done download.
Yes, it's done.
Less than a minute. It's not done.
Yeah, like less than a minute is as good as done.
No, it's not done. Still loading.
Okay, so
I need your MySQL to be able to so that we'll set that one up too and then we're good to
okay.
go. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So go to type show me your terminal.
Sorry?
Terminal, your terminal.
My terminal.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that they wanted to do git something.
Mm-hmm.
I think Apple has a what's it called? Mac has a pre-installed git. So just do git dash dash version. Git space no git space dash dash version. Let's see. No space, that's every space. Dash dash version. Then click enter.
Yeah, you
There's a
have it.
git. There's a pre-installed git. That's why we didn't see a version for Apple or Mac and line.
Oh,
So
okay.
you have Git on your system. Don't worry about it. That's just what I wanted to confirm. Your MySQL should be done now.
It's like we're cooking rice. Your MySQL should be done now. Okay.
We are sure cooking something.
Mm.
But uh,
Where is it again, sir?
your Chrome. I thought we were using Chrome.
Okay, it's here. Yeah, it's
Oh.
done. So now I just have to open it in application.
So now we can eat since it's done.
Mm,
No, that's App Store. That way it should be.
sometimes
I
even
don't
me,
know.
I get confused with this
You
system.
see
So
people
I don't
that
know
are
why.
using.
I don't know why I gave out my HP. I'm about to go and tell the person I want it back. Okay,
Apple
yeah.
is.
No, they are that's Apple.
Apple is best, the best. Once you get used to it, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I'm good.
Okay, so please enlarge it. I want to see something. Okay, click on the this one that looks like connecting.
The dolphin.
No, not the dolphin. The second one.
This one.
Yeah. I
The
want to see
schema.
something. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Click on the last one. Last thingy. Yeah. Oh, all right. Go back to home. Go back to the dolphin. It's
You
called
say you could not
okay.
detect any MySQL server running.
Oh, click the MySQL connection plus. Let's see. You're supposed to have like a file. Let me see. Stop sharing your screen first. Let me check it on
Okay.
here. Thank you.
That's one reason why I get tired. Now stop looking for you.
What's that?
I'm looking for the teams, ni. I'm looking for you, ni.
Ugh.
So I can stop sharing.
Oh,
I'm looking for you.
you stopped sharing already now, have you?
You already
Have I?
stopped.
Have I? Oh, I didn't even know.
No, anyone who wants to share can kick you out. It's not
Oh,
necessary.
okay, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So this let's see. Yeah, my grades. This thing used to be straightforward. Lord have mercy. What the hell is this? Looking for something. Um, was this what you downloaded?
Well, okay, so
It's
I'm still looking for you. I can't find you. I can only hear your voice. Sorry.
Do you find the
Okay, yes,
team?
I found you.
Okay.
yeah. So is this what was downloaded?
What?
Let me send this link to you and just download it again because I
It's
don't know.
8.0.30 I downloaded now.
Yeah, it's not
8.
even the version. It's not really the version. There are some. Okay, let me show you something now. No, not that one. Come on. Because MySQL comes with like baggages, like a lot of things. I'm sharing my whole screen now. So can you see what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. No file. What am I doing? Sorry. So yeah, this is should get like all this
The
in your
financial data.
MySQL.
Do I have all this?
Should have like all this in your MySQL if you downloaded not just the workbench. If the workbench does not see a server, then that's a problem. Go back to your workbench. Let me stop sharing. Let's see. Let's try to figure it out. Share your screen. Um,
No,
click
this is
plus.
okay.
Click the no, not plus, the second one. The no below the dolphin. Sorry about that. No, no. The directly below the dolphin. That schema here. Click model. No, that plus model. Model plus, yeah. That's weird. So why is it saying it does not say it's a connection?
It says rescan. Should we rescan?
Probably scan. Oh, you're supposed to click the home, that home thingy. Yeah, that dolphin. I think it's on the dolphin. Yeah, let's see.
Let's have it.
Another thing we can do. Let's see. Google MySQL local server. Let's see for Mac. You already cancelled it. Okay, MySQL, yeah. Local. Yeah. Go down. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, let's see that. No, go back. Go back. Go down. Check that installing MySQL on Mac. No, yeah, that one. Go up. Go up first. Installing using native packages. Go to using native packages. Let's see. Because yeah, native up native packages. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, this is what something you're supposed to get. This whole package. I think that's why we are having the issue. Just go up. Let's see if they'll no go down. Let's see if they'll give us like a link to download there. Okay, community version is available here. Go there. No, down. There's a place they read. No, like up. Sorry. There's a place, yeah. To install MySQL using package installer. Download the community version is available here. Let's see. Click on that here.
I can't find where you're reading now.
After the notes, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sister Huawei. Yeah. Click on compressed tar or something. Yeah. Let's see compressed tar.
I should download.
Yeah. Download compressed tar. No thanks. Just my download. Okay. Open. That's it's loading. That's it down there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it done?
Is it open here? Yeah. Yes. It's done. I don't think there's any package for
Okay,
it.
yeah. I've seen community. Open this community. Let's see if it's see yeah now. What's that? It's telling you to move it again. Is that what it brought?
Mm. We already have it now. Is that not what I
Yes. Let's just go to the. Let's go to the Let's see if it's see local server now. Rescan now. That's much.
Oh, goodness.
You know what? I'll figure that out on my own time, and we'll go through it together. Let's just go through today's
Okay.
lecture.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
Let me
Yeah,
stop.
so
Okay.
yeah,
Can
yeah,
okay. No
so
problem.
yes, because I'm me. So yeah, uh
Mhm.
today the connection why we needed the MySQL connector was to make this work. Without the MySQL connector, this particular line would not work. Now, this line is what secures a connection to your database. And once you secure the connection to your database, you are good to go. Now, I'm going to start this all over because I already ran all those codes and it's already running. So let me just delete the old thingy. Drop schema, drop now. Yep. Now let's do this. So yeah, try connection, try catch. Like I said, exception handling. That's what try catch is. If you had any issues while it will try this all this code, this whole thing. So if you run into any issue or error or whatever, it will catch the error and then to print the stack trace that will tell us it's mainly for debugging. It's mainly for debugging just to tell us, okay, where is this issue coming from? So I'm going to provide this particular code because I think it's although I didn't comment it, but once I go through it, you'll be able to like, okay, get the gist of what is going on. So once I run this, what I'm trying to do now is to create a database, a schema. Now, let me share my SQL. Look at all the schemas I have. I have DB example, I have employee management, Sakila, school, whatnot and whatnot. So I'm trying to create a new one here, a new schema. So by doing this, I can do it for my Java app. Simply by passing in my URL, my username, the root I showed you the last time. Let me go back. This, the root, and my password, which is supposed to be known to me, but has been exposed. Either ways, is nothing. So yeah, let's run this. So if this thing was successful, I wanted it to print out this. If all this thing failed, it will not get to this part. This is how code works. It first executes this one, then it executes the next line, then the next line, then the next line, then this line. So for it to get to this line, that means this one has been successful. So if that's the reason this system does out of print line is just like a sort of a debugging tool like that. So if it prints out this database created successfully, that means my database has been created. So let's do this. Shut up. Yep, database created successfully. So what did I do here? I simply established a connection, then created a statement. A statement is your SQL query. A statement is like an API that helps you to pass in SQL queries. That help you to passing SQL query into your database instead of writing the SQL in your whatever editor your database is providing. You write it as a Java code. So it's just a string, and then you execute this string. This is the query. This is the SQL query I want to execute. This is the SQL query I want to execute, which is just create database more. Now, to execute this, I need to put it in a variable, an SQL, a string variable, SQL. Then I use this method statement from here, from this statement. Then this method execute update, accepts a string. I can simply like remove all this and just simply write my string here and it will still pass. I can do something like, oh, sorry. Uh, Create database form. And this will still run successfully. You see, it's already bringing out SQL, so it recognizes it's supposed to accept a string variable or a string or a string argument. So is either I do it like that, or but for simplicity's sake, I declared it differently because there are some statements or some queries that you want to write that are longer than you can actually put in this so as not to make your code look all messy and junky. You just declare a different variable and then pass it in. Then after this has been executed, I wanted it to print out system.out, the print line, database created successfully. Now let's go and check my database. Let's see if I've truly created this schema. Let's log in. And voila, this is it. I don't have any table yet. I don't have any stored procedure, no functions, or triggers, anything, but I have my database more. It's amazing. From my Java application, spoke to my backend, spoke to my database, and then created this particular database or schema, whatever you would like to call it. Now, so we've created our database. What is the next step? The next step is to create a table or several tables in our database. Your schema can hold different type of tables. It can hold several tables. You get, or entity, or whatever I like to call it. Tables or entity. When you get to Spring Boot to call it entity, it's still table. Everything is still table. But yeah, our schema can hold different table. Now, this particular schema, we want it to hold a table we are titling products. Now, my URL is going to change. Now, I'm no longer going to be speaking to the DBMS as a whole. I'm no longer going to be speaking to the database management system as a whole. Now I'm going to be pinpointing to the database or the schema that I want to persist, or that I want to that I want to speak to, or that I want to communicate with. Yeah, I'm going to be persistent. I'm going to be particular about it. Like I said, I have different databases, like I showed you before initially. I have DB example, employee, month, management, Sequila. So the one I want is mod. So my URL changed. It didn't change that much. It's just the generic something, and then at the back, I just added the particular database I am persisting, or the schema I am persisting. Same username, same password, same protocol. Getting my connection. This is getting my connection. I need to write a statement, so I need a statement object. Yes. Now this is my statement. That's why we actually went through the process of writing SQL in the first place. We talked about SQL. We talked about SQL. I remember Mr. Sukom really did like an elaborate teaching, or somewhat teaching about the SQL. Now, as a form of debugging, let's just put this, right? Just because we can. Do that. Know that.
Excuse me, I'll be right back.
Right. They will have been created. So, as a form of debugging, like I said, it will first execute. Why did it come back here? It will first execute all this, store it in a string, and then we are passing that string in this particular method. This is, if you look at it very well, this is a typical SQL statement. Like this is a typical, SQL statement. Create table. This is a statement for creating table. Product integer primary key, price integer not null, name voucher 60 not null. The description varchar 100 not null. This is just a typical SQL statement. Now Java does not understand this in terms of it being a string. Java can only understand strings. So once you pass this, I showed you how to do the old triple quotes thingy. Once you pass this, now I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to write another one that will create another type of table. Now, this one, let's say we have another table we want to create in the mind. Let's say table SQL 2, sorry. Now, my triple quote. So, what do I need? Create table. So, what's the name of the table I want to create? We have product. In the mall, we also have let's say what employees, mall employees. But I'm not calling them mall employees, but yeah, that's the gist. Now, what does an employee have? Let's say employee ID. I'm just writing typical SQL statements, which is going to be an integer. That's the primary key and comma. Remember, it's going to have a name. Let's say that is a varchar 60. Can use anything. Oh my god. Can use any number 60, whatever you think will be sufficient for you. That's the number. This 60 represent the number of character you can the name of the employee can be. So once it's beyond 60, you get an error. That's just more varchar. If you are limiting the name of your employee, so imagine if it's an Roboman that has long, no, those guys don't even have longer names. I don't know the tribe that have long. Let's just say maybe Russians that have like crazy ass long names. They might not be able to pass, but I don't think it should be up to 60 characters. Yeah, they have names. Let's say email address, email. That's also varchar. Email can be long, so we have to be reasonable and put 100. It's not null. Let's say we are interested in their social life or their life in general. Let's say they want their phone number. That to be a varchar. Be careful. Don't use string because it will. When you want to why we are using a varchar is because when you want, if you use an integer, it will take it as a number, and you'll be able to perform mathematical operations on it. You might be able to add number, and when you are doing your joins and some other complex, what's it called? Some other complex operations, you might get there might be an issue. So the number should not be less than 11 characters. But let's say people are weird. Let's just put 20 because no. So these are the tables I am interested in creating. Table 1, table 2. So what do I do? Statement dot execute. I've executed the first table, that's table SQL. Then I do the second one. So these two statements, this statement 1 is to execute this query, and this one. Now there's execute query, there's execute update. When we get to execute query, I will let you know. This one is to update a particular database. It's not, you are not querying the database, so to say. You are updating the database. You have the database. Now you are updating it by giving it a table or tables. Yeah, there's execute update, there's execute query. Query is used to retrieve, execute query is used to retrieve data or manipulate or do all sorts. Now, let's go ahead and create our table. Okay, yeah. syntax is right. Let's see. Let's run that to be sure. Table has been created. Now let's go to our MySQL. Yep. Let's see if our table has indeed been created. Refresh. Oh, we have a table. See, employees and products. Although they are empty, but as you can see, we have two tables, employee and table product. So yeah, that is to show that our statement was successful. Now let's go back to our share this window. Now, after you have a table, what do? You
Quick
input value.
question.
Yeah.
Is this section recorded on?
Yes,
Are
yes.
we recording it? Okay. All right. Thank you.
The next thing, when you have a table, the next thing you want to do is populate the table. You want to put in values to those columns, to the, oh my God, yeah, to the product ID column, to the price column, to the name column, description column, and whatnot column. Yeah, so we are going to do that. This is where it's getting dicey a little bit. Yeah. So let's say same thing. Our our URL is with the one that is specific to the database. It's not the one that does not have the database. This one has the database. Now, our root username is the same, password the same. Trying to get our connection, instantiating our statement object. Now, what we are doing now is to insert or populate our products, our product table. Now, our product table, this is a typical, like I say, this is the typical SQL statement. If you are you really paid attention to our SQL class, you know that how you populate a table is run this SQL statement, insert into products, insert into the table name, products, values, yeah, one primary key, 20, the price, Pepsi, the product name, and cool snacks, the description and whatnot. How is Pepsi even cool snacks? Let's say beverage. Yep. So this is your typical SQL statement. So to execute that SQL statement, it's still an update. You are not querying your database yet. You are just updating your database. You are putting values into your table. That's updating. There are three main what's it called? There are three main things, operations you carry out on your database. Three major, that's create, retrieve, update, and delete. So yeah. Oh boy.
Are they
Um
also? Can we also call those parameters?
what?
Can they also be called parameters?
Which one? This
One
one.
twenty FC and cool beverage.
The what? I can't hear you.
I said all those ones that you just highlighted. Can we
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah,
call
yeah. You can call
parameters?
them parameters, but I like to call them the
Okay,
actual data or the values. The
the
actually
value.
values are the ones that will occupy these positions, all
Correct.
these positions in your table. All this
Okay.
they will occupy it. So they are majorly values. So yeah, typical SQL statement. So we are going to write because I just wrote the one for um, I just wrote the one for I just created a table for employee ID. So we are going to populate that one too. Okay, so I'm going to write that one. Pardon me. Okay, so let's write it together. You can execute as many SQL statements as you want. Okay, so yep, let's do this. String insert SQL. Let's name this for a equals so insert into employees this time around. A this time around valued. Remember we had employee ID. Let's look at it. We had employee ID, name, email, and phone number. This is where it gets interesting. Now the next thing is name. In this, how prior to this whole new update of the triple quotes, you have to concatenate the strings, and then like that, we got I actually have a code here. I don't know if it's here. Prior to no, I didn't open that tab. There's a but before we have to concatenate the whole strings together, and by so doing we had errors at some point because it will not, maybe you missed a quotation mark somewhere or in comma somewhere, but this triple quote makes it a lot easier to write your SQL statement. So you can actually write a string, an SQL string, in like, when you're writing SQL, the string to, there are some values that are actually strings that are varchar. Yeah, your varchar value, you represent them with double quote. So you can write that one in this triple. Yeah, it allows you to write it in this triple quote. So the name of our employee will be, let's say, James Brown. And his email, remember, varchar to James Brown at email.com. And the phone number too, also voucher. Let's say 717 624 blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah. And closing bracket. And next thing to do is statement dot execute update. What update are we executing? Start SQL4. So we can do this 2 more times. Just going to do this. Yep, copy. We name this 5. Same thing. 2. Got to name this primary key. If I left this as 1, we'll get normal SQL errors that we used to get, like unique ID or ID, blah blah blah. So I'm just going to change it to 2. Well, let me leave it at 1 so that we'll see our typical error statements or the exception statements. Let's name this Tinafe, because email.com. I just gave you a free number. Yep, we're good. So executing by. So let's do the same. 6. The values. Let's make this 3 because Troy John something don't do it. Coming up with fake names. John Drew. Section 6. Yep. So this will execute So if we try to run this, we're going to get an error because of this. Because they are primary keys, they should be unique. There's uniqueness to, in fact, it's not only this one. We're going to get it for all of them because I did even change for these ones too. Those two. Interesting. So let's run our code, you see. Yep. Duplicate entry for one for keys employees.primary. So like I said, we're going to get an error, and that's an SQL error. So it was caught by this catch method. This thing is what actually caught the error. That's why we have a try catch. This is what caught the error. That's why we use try catch, because you can't afford to be making mistake to your database. Okay, so yeah, that's why we have the try catch. So that was what caught it, and it printed. This is the stack trace. Print stack trace. So it's going to take us to, okay, where is the problem? But I think Tawale said yes, this is it. This statement, Java 35. So something is wrong. So I can always go back. Oh, I have the same. So like this, we should run and we'll have no problem. What's the duplicate entry for products?
Probably
Primary. Oh, funny thing is, it already populated the table. So let me refresh it. It already populated the table, regardless of that one. Let's see. Products already at 3. So I was now running it again. So let me just what's it called? Let me see my players. See, it already populated the employees too. So I'll just comment that part out. Yeah. On those ones independently, so that we can move on. Not get error now. Yeah, we good. Now when I go to my database, oh, I'm not even showing my database. Sorry. Okay, why I had that error in the first place, that product error, because it already populated the product table. So when I ran that code again, and I put the same product key, the same thing, it could not do it again because it was a duplicate entry. Now, employees now, let's check. We're good. Selected it, then we're good. So, yeah. Any questions so far, please?
no question.
What?
No question.
Okay, please ask question. Cheryl, do you have questions? Oh, actually, let's. Okay. The last thing we are going to be doing today, I believe, and I need her to actually answer me because I need to be sure everybody is being carried along. Shem, if you can hear me, please. I want to know if you have any questions.
Yes, please.
Okay, what's the question?
Me more dada. Kò tí ì yé mi dada.
Which parts do you not understand?
Gbogbo ẹ̀. Mo mọ root, mo mọ localhost, mo mọ Bólúwatifẹ́. Ibi tí mo mọ̀ dé dáadáa nìyẹn.
Do you know how to get your connection? This.
You said that's the command I'll use.
Yeah. Okay, let me do one more. Let me just create one from scratch. New class. You can see my stuff now.
Yes.
Okay. try. I don't know the name of the try connection. So yeah. Now I need to get my connection. There are three main ingredients I need. There are three main variables I need. I need my URL. I need my what's it called? I need my URL, my username, and my password. So I declare them here as final. Final because I don't want them to be changed at all. So and for final, you always use capital letter to present your variable name. My URL, I'll just copy it from here. I don't want to type it all the way again. I paste it here. Like I said, it's very generic. Jdbc colon, my SQL colons, dash slash slash local slash. You can even leave it without this and you still get your connection. Or you can put it like that with your database, you get your connection. Now let's see. I also need my username. Now, private is the access modifier. I want it to be private to only this class. Static, I want it to initialize with the class because let me show you something I discovered this afternoon. Really cool. We're going to declare this one as non-static. See what happens. Password. Okay, now my class. Now this is where it gets dicey. This is where you should. So I'm going to write try. Automatically, IntelliJ will give you right. The method is try catch actually. So it's like do while or if else, it try catch. Do you get? Just interesting. Okay, yeah, it's try catch. So I'm going to try to get a connection. So I'm going to say connection. It's just like this connection count is the same thing as saying string, the name of the string equals say new string. Then I say da, 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 da. Okay, it's just the same as doing that. All right. So instead of doing all this, I say connection, the name of the connection. I'm calling it con because I can. And then I'm doing driver instead of new, I'm doing driver manager dot get connection. Now, this get connection accepts, see, it accepts three values, three arguments, the URL, the user, and the password. I know you can't see that one, but yeah, it is password. Yeah, you see, string URL, string user, string password, string URL, string user, string password. It accepts three arguments, and we already declared them before the main method. So we are just going to channel them into the main method into this place. So yeah, so I do automatically sees my URL. URL in the same order, username, but password is not here. What's the problem? That is because I didn't put it as static. So the reach, there's something called global variable and method variable. You know, the variable nothing wrong with variable reach. Is it reach? No, I still remember them. Like the coverage of the variable, like where the variable can get to. There are some variables, like if you have a method now, if you write a method, there are some variables you declare in the method, and it is not accessible by another method in the same class. So that's how interesting it is. It's not accessible by another method in the same class. While some it is you declare them globally before any method that you are declaring. Those ones are global variable. That's just something you understand as you continually use them. So now I can see my password just because I just push one or two something. So my catch is I want an SQL exception or exception, whatever you want. And then I want you to e.print stack trace. I'm good. So for me to know that this thing actually run, I need to execute a body. I need to execute something. So I need to execute a statement. Like I said, the old system.out.println that I used here, this whole thing is just a form of debugging statement. It's just to, if you ever use JavaScript, there's console.log. Yada yada yada. If you are using there are different languages have their own system.out.println. In the real world, you don't system.out.println anything. No, nobody's looking for anything in their console. If you do that, you might be exposing data or some sensitive information that you don't want. So no, in the real world, you don't use system.out.println. You just use it to debug, and then you have to remove it. It's just like if you use CSS2, there's a debugging, unofficial debugging statement, which is borderline because it's red with thickness, so that you can see what you are doing. It's just this old system that like so that I can let me know what is going on. Let me see what is going on. Now I'm using it in this place to know if my connection has been secured, because I know from my previous lessons or from my previous experience, right, that without this old thingy, without this, I would not. Okay, there's another one that I saw, safe. That connection. I think this was the one I'm supposed to do, safe. So you can do Boolean, it's valid. Now this is the real debugging. Connection is valid. Then you put any timeouts. You put 0, and then you can say you can print is the connection valid question mark. Then if this returns true, that means the connection is valid. If it is false, that means I don't have any connection. So fingers crossed. Let's check. This is like, mind you, nobody does this. This is just a debugging tool. This is just something to know if you have a connection to your database, right? Because I know from experience and from, let me not say experience, and from programming knowledge that my line of code is being executed one by one. So it will execute this, it will try this. So when you see that there's a connection, it will execute all this. But if there's no connection here, let's think of this try catch as if else. If there is connection, do this. Else, print stack trace. Give me an exception. Let me know where it's going, what is going on. Give me an exception, whatever, an exception statement or whatever I want to tell me. Let me know what is going on. So let's do this. Is the connection valid true? So we know from this that we have a connection with our database. Do you understand now?
Yes.
Are you sure? You want to pursue me?
Trust me, if I don't understand, I will talk, because
I thought you were pursuing me.
I need to know. I need to know it ASAP. I'm hungry. I need money.
What?
Extra work.
Don't do me, I beg. All
I need to
right.
start working.
Yeah. So that is connection. Now I'm going to go over creating table now. Now, once you get your connection, what do I want to do? I'm not just getting connection because I want to get connection. I really don't care. Like the connection is important, but then the connection is a means to an end. Now, the end is I want to be able to communicate with my database. That is why I'm testing my connection. That is why I'm connecting to the database. So, to be able to communicate with your database or DBMS, actually, not even your database, you need a connection. So, after your connection, you create a database. Like I said, initially, this is a database schema or database. See, you wrote schema here. Schema. We have DB, example, employee, more management. Let me delete this one again. Oh, sorry. Let me drop schema. So I'm going to run it again so that you see that, so that you see what is going on. Now, I need to be able to communicate with my DBMS. I want to create a database in my DBMS. That's my database management system. MySQL is a database management system. Oracle database is a database management system. We have MySQL, we have MongoDB. And Mongo is no SQL. We have MySQL, we have Oracle, we have Microsoft Server, we have Postgres, and some other ones like that too. Yeah. So this statement is what I use to execute an update or a query, or that is how I talk to my database. That is how I pass my SQL statements. Now, I have my database. I do statement con dot create statement. I want to create a statement. I want to be able to create a statement. I want to be able to, execute a statement. So this is my state. This is the statement I want to create. This is the statement I want to execute. I want to create a database called more. Now, to execute this statement, I will say statement.execute update. I said there's execute query, there's execute update. Now, why this is execute update is because you are not querying the database. You are just updating, you are posting something into the database. You are updating the database, right? So, yeah, like I said, this is a typical SQL statement. Now, you pass it into a string object or string variable, which is the string SQL. Like, I said, okay, so that you believe me. I said something like, you can do it straight up from there. Create database more. Why I did it like that is because of subsequent time when this thing will be too much for your this little bracket to contain, so that your code will not look messy. That's why I like to declare my statement or my string variable first before I now pass it into, and the pass I mean is not pass, I mean parse, like pass, like pass, like choke it, insert it, or that inject it, pass it into my method. Yeah. So if I do this now, it creates a schema or database in my DBMS because I have a connection to my DBMS. Now let's check. Oh, don't have it. Refresh all. Shut up. This is it. I just created a new schema in my DBMS because I have a connection to my DBMS. Imagine I didn't have a connection to my DBMS. I won't be able to do this. No lies. So, oh, come on. So, yep. Now that we have created a database, like I said, a database contains a table. A DBMS has numerous databases. Now, a database can have numerous tables. Now, to create your table, remember I said your URL before you create a table, your URL is just without the name of the database. This is how, once this is done, you have created a new database. Now, to create a table, you go there and then you impute the name of the database you have created or that you want to put the table in behind the local host. All right. So, yeah, same procedure. You want to pass your SQL statement. You want to create a table. This is a typical SQL statement. This is a typical SQL statement from here to, sorry. This is your typical, the highlighted thing is your typical SQL statement embedded in the string literals. That is the triple quote. It helps us write our SQL, our queries or our SQL statements. It helps us write it better. So same thing I did when I was creating my database. I'm going to update my database to pass my I want to create a table called products. I want to create a table called employees. So I'm going to pass it individually into my method, my statement.execute update method. Now, doing this will enable, now this is my debugging tool, table has been created, yada, yada, yada. Because I don't want to be going back to my database and searching, is it there, is it not there? So once this still runs, I know that, okay, this statement, albeit wrong, or maybe I have misspelled. This will not tell me if I've misspelled anything. You should just create it directly, it's just normal. Even your SQL statements, if you run it in your SQL editor, it won't tell you if you misspelled employee or anything. It might underline it, some editors will underline it, but it will not, it will still create it regardless. It doesn't care about your grammatical prowess. So yeah, let's run this. Table has been created successfully. Now let's check our database. Let's see if truly the table has been created. Fresh refresh. Yep, we have two tables, employees. Sorry, trying to end this. Way too many tabs open. Sorry. Okay, I have a new table, employees. I have another table, empty table, products. I've not populated them yet. There's nothing inside. So my next course of action is to populate my table. That is the next thing I'll be looking at. That's my next goal is to populate my data, to populate my table. So to populate my tables, I'm going to use our beloved SQL statement again. I'll populate table. Now, our URL remains the same. The one that has the database we want to persist or want to query or want to update, whatever language you're using. And we do the same thing. This now. Yep, we're good. And same. See, creates a statement object for sending SQL statements to the database. That is the work of this thing. Execute the given SQL statement. We may be insert, update, or delete delete statement, or an SQL statement that returns nothing, such as SQL GDL statement. No, that's what you use it for. It's quite explanatory. If you have time, you can go through the documentation and then you just read up on it. You might, like it. But yeah, the same thing. I want to execute. Oh Jesus, I'm not sharing again. You guys should be telling me if I'm not sharing. Same thing. This was what I was reading from. This creates a statement object for sending SQL statements to the database. That's what this method is doing. This create statement method. Now, execute object executes the given SQL statement, which may be insert, update, or delete, or create, or whatever. So, yeah. That being said, this is my SQL statement. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to execute. Now, to help me do that, this method is the method that can help me do that. So I'm just going to, I can simply just type it inside here and nothing will happen. It will still run because it's expecting a string argument or a string parameter, whatever name you call it. So yeah, I do insert product values, the primary key, the price, the name, the description that I have already described here. Don't forget, primary key, price, name, description. Now I want to populate that table, that products table. Now I'm doing the same for employees, the primary key, the name, the email, and the number, which I described here. Employee ID, name, email, number. So to execute this statement, I'll need my execute update method again. Pass it as many. You can bombard it with as many SQL statements as you want. So I'm going to run this to populate. I was finished because I didn't add any debugging something. So this will just oh, what happened? Now, like this, I need to go and check my database to see if something happened. So let's see. I've populated my tables with the values I desire. So use table, let's check out product table, same thing. I populated it with the value I so much desire. So yeah, that's the gist of it all. Now, the same way you populated your table can also, now I want to shit. Now I want to query my database now. I want to get something from my database. I want to get data from my database. I want to receive data. I want to know what is in my database. Normally you do select this from products. This is your query. Yeah, you can write it anywhere. This one I just do want a final query that I can use all over and over again, that I don't need to wait. Couldn't make it final for some reason. That's weird. I could make it final. Wait, what was I doing? So this I just needed. Oh yeah, I wanted to change it. I wanted to be able to change it. Yeah. So I just needed this. Now I'm going to remove this. Okay, yeah. So we use the result set. The result set is like the result set is like an object that stores every value you are getting from your query. Now this query, you see, this is execute query and not execute update, because we are getting something. We are retrieving an information from our database. That's querying. We are querying our database. We are querying our database. Execute a given SQL statement which result a single result set. This a type result set. Now this is the kind of the kind of statement you can execute, say select dash dash from where this, all those, where the conditions and all that. Those are the kind of queries you can use execute queries to. Now I want to retrieve from my database. Selecting all, this is what this star means. I'm selecting all from products. Now I pass it into a result set. This is my result set. A result set variable. Then I look through the result set because I'm selecting all, because I want to display my results, right? I want to display my result. There are 4 columns in my, there are 4 columns. Yeah, 4 columns. Yeah, 4 columns in my product table. Now I'm going to, for every, our while loop, it goes through the first row. The first row of my table, it brings out the ID with this method rs, which is this, because it already stored it here. The outcome, this particular statement actually generates a result, or a yeah, it generates a result. Unlike that update does not give us anything. This one actually returns something. Yeah, it returns an object, and the name of that object is result set. So for you to be able to view the things in the result set, you use a while loop, right? This rs.next. So while rs has next, while there are more rows, it will basic while loop, it will execute this statement, or this body. So while there are more rows, it will go through the first row, it will get the product ID number, it will get the price, it will get the string name, the product name, it will get the product description. Then I'm concatenating. This is just simple concatenation so that I'll be able to view my result. Now if I run this, I should get 3 results because I have 3 columns. Get out. See, I have ID number 1, number 2, and number 3 because I have this ID, product ID, price, name. I'm storing them. These are just variables I use to store anything I get. To get my product ID, I say get int because it's an integer. To get my name, I say get string because it was a varchar, right? So I store them in individual variables: ID, price, name, description, and then I print them out as I want to. Right now, I just want to concatenate them and do them like this. So this is what gives me, this is the, if you check, this is the same thing as what you get in your table. Because Java does not have that capability to actually to display a table, or there might be a plugin or a library for it, I don't know. But yeah, that's the way. So what that result set did was, well, that while loop that we did was, it looped through this table. It went to the first row, it got me the ID, got me the price, got me the name, got me the description. I stored it and I printed it out. While rs as next, while there's a next row, it will continue to loop through. So if I have 1,000 rows, it will continue until it gets to the last one, and there is no next to print from again. Do you get? So it goes to the second row, it gets me the ID number, the price, and the description, same as the third row. So that is how we had this whole thing. I can do the same for and we can do the same for the, in fact, yes, this will be our assignment. Let us do the, I'm going to make this I'm going to make this, what's it called? this code available. I'm going to see how I can make it available, and then our assignment. Not again, because short notice. I might not want tomorrow. Maybe against next week before let's give Mr. Sukwami wedding present. I'm going to. So we are going to try this same thing for the employees table. Just go through the code, play with it a little bit. Just play around it, try to understand it. Anything you don't understand, you can put it on Google. Okay, why is this? Why is that this? And like that. So the assignment is to do this same thing, carry out the same instruction, this same query the employee table and get the result set and loop through the result set and get an answer. Any question? Because we are about ending the class. I'm so tired. Any question?
No question, no tirẹ̀ mi náà o. Orí ti la náà o.
Well,
I'm exhausted. You get to kúrò lórí ìlà
you
látàárọ̀.
don't even want me to talk.
Mo ti kọ́ kóòdù látàárọ̀ orí mi ti la náà mo tẹ̀ tún ti ṣe mistake gan.
Okay, so
Mo tún ti wo TV o. Mo tún ti wo screen o.
please take it easy, oh.
Man, I'm having a headache now, I swear.
Oh yeah, it's okay. Let's go.
My younger
But-
brother is
Question
getting married
now.
tomorrow. He's getting
Oh,
ready.
I'll ask tomorrow. Let's go. But where can we get the recording though? Because I need to go over it again.
I'm going to ask Mr. Imo. I don't know.
'Cause I don't know where to get access.
Yeah,
to
I'm going to ask Mr. Imo.
Yeah,
He's
if
the
I
one that
so
is in
that we
charge.
can. Yeah, so that you just send us the link so that we go
Is it
through
Mrs. or Miss here?
anyone you like in the two.
Okay, you can